You're Bronnie Skinner.
That's right, because I don't have a business. I'm still a student.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm still kind of can't believe that I'm even here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here with Bronnie, who has designed this beautiful garden you can see behind us. Talk to me about, obviously, if you're a student currently, what possesses you to decide you're going to enter into the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show?
Well, I was originally selected to do one of the student achievable gardens.
Yep.
And then it was the last day of school and I handed in my assessment and my head lecturer said, "Oh, Bronnie, so how would you feel about doing a boutique garden instead of a student garden?" And I just said, "Have you lost your mind?"
You didn't think you were ready?
Oh, no, no, not to jump straight into boutique. It was, a little bit crazy. He was saying, "No, I think you should go for it."
Yeah.
I think, this design, you should.
Oh, so this was the original design that you, what, close?
Close to. It's been a bit adjusted. So I applied and could not believe that I actually got in.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
crazy.
I think a lot of what's here looks similar to a lot of what's here, and this stands out as different. And as I said to you off camera, two people that are well respected have both said it's their favourite garden, so that's pretty cool.
That really blows my mind. That's amazing.
So talk to me about the design process. Did you kind of write your own brief and then?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I knew that I really wanted to do this big swathe of blonde grasses, and I'm just fascinated with pairing what would normally be considered quite opposing elements and being able to bring them together to achieve an interesting balance.
Yep.
Like, I really think the softness of the grasses and the movement is really in harmony with the contrasting architectural cactus and succulents.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go for, explore the nature of duality, and that's why I've called it the Duality Garden.
So are there other elements that you would that I'm not seeing that are a duality?
I'm fascinated with old world gardens. As you can see, this is really influenced by South American vibes and Mediterranean. I love that old world gardens that are a little bit worn, lived in, all the natural elements. I'm obsessed with stone, so I did all of the stonework, which I just love working with. So another part of the duality I would definitely say is that this is a modern take on a really old world aesthetic.
Last night when we were looking at it, I kept thinking that Antonio Banderas should be somewhere. Like, it's kind of like got that kind of like
that vibe.
Not, I guess Mexican, but
Mexican.
that flair. It's really cool.
Thank you.
And so you're currently studying, or you finished now?
No, I've still just got a few units to do, but finishing up shouldn't take too long.
And then the plan is to get a job. We talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, I've only been studying for a year now, so.
And you've entered a garden show.
Yes.
Why not though? Why not jump in 2 feet and just?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was saying to someone a little bit earlier, I remember being here last year walking around, and I'd only just started the diploma, and if someone had have said to me that I'd be here doing this now, I would say you're off your tree.
So if you were, I guess, recommending to other students, like, what would you say to other students that are thinking about doing this? Like, just do it.
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely go for it, and just give it your all. Yeah.
And the pros? What are the positives that have come from this?
Meeting heaps of people.
Yeah.
It's been really lovely meeting such a great bunch of people. Like, there's a real community spirit. Yeah, I feel really lucky with all the crew, all the guys that have done boutique gardens this year. We've just got on like a house on fire.
Well, you're all probably experiencing the same things. I think, like, we spoke to Adam before, and this is the first time he's done one. Now, obviously he's been landscaping for a long time, and Paul's been doing 20 years or something. But you're kind of still experiencing all the same things at the same time.
Yeah, all the same craziness. I think. Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah.
So the elements in here, like, so the plants are obviously quite unique compared to what we're seeing. Are these sourced locally? Have you worked with some like a nursery or?
So I approached Cactus Country, who are up in northern Victoria, and yeah, they were keen straight away. So I've spent a bit of time going up there, and like their place is huge. Have you been up there?
No.
If you get the chance, you should definitely go and just spend hours walking around, just initially I had a vague idea of the layout that I wanted to do, but just to go up and see the plants, and then it just kind of evolves, like the colour palette and the planting palette. And then the last time I was up there, had a really good walk around all day, selecting each plant, and then Jim and the crew brought it down for the bump-in.
I imagine one thing that you have as an advantage with these is they don't change in a very short period of time. So a lot of the other people are kind of growing to be ready on the day or to flower on the day. You haven't had to deal with that as you know, everything kind of will still look like this in a month kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank goodness.
So what's your favourite part about the garden? Is there a single feature in there? I heard you talking about that block before. Is that? You do that?
Yeah, I made both pieces of furniture. Yep. But my heart is in the stone, I think. Yeah. Maybe because it took me like a couple of months to do. But
so you, as in, you were actually building this on the ground in a warehouse or at home, and then it kind of all came here, and then you put it together?
So kind of you put the jigsaw puzzle together, and I've glued the pieces to just some cement sheeting, and then brought it down here, attached it to the framing, and then Eugene did an awesome job at grouting it all. But I've just loved it. Yeah, it's been really good.
It's really cool.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's really hard to say which is my favourite part. Like, it's really hard, but it's hard for me I can't stop looking at the olive. I really love the olive.
Yeah. There's
What about you? What's your favourite part? It's hard.
It is hard. I think the answer to that's probably the design, which is a good answer for you, but like it's different, and I feel that I like the style. There was a garden here, I think the PLA did in 2018, which was very Californian, a lot of dark, like a lot of reds, and I feel like sometimes we can get caught in the trap of doing a lot of Me Too or a lot of, the same thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is different, I love the fact that it's different. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It felt like I've been given this crazy opportunity to be here, so I was just like,
why mail it in and just have a basic?
Yeah, I'm just going to follow my heart. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to reuse any of this at home, or will Eugene use any of it? Or?
Yeah, so I'm going to take all the stone back home with me, and I'll take the door back with me as well. But then everything gets ripped out and ripped down. Yeah, but I mean, most of the timber will be reused or recycled.
I think that's part of the beauty of these, is that they're here for a moment in time, and then you get to come and enjoy it, and then it's gone.
Yeah, quite ephemeral.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
I don't know if I'll be feeling that's very cool at first day of bump out.
It'll probably be a bit emotional. But
a little bit, maybe.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. It was really nice talking to you. All the best.
To meet you.
I really do hope you find the job, well, whatever you want that you're looking for, but this is, doing something like this definitely shows potential employers that you're serious. Like, I don't think there's a better resume. Really?
Than this.
You know what I mean? Like they go, oh, have you got a resume? You're like, yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
The fact that we did it. So
yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
And I'm here with Eugene from
Claycon Landscape Construction.
Claycon. And Eugene has paired up with Bronnie as the construction arm of this amazingly unique garden here at the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show. Talk to me about how this came about. How are you now a constructor at the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show?
So Bronnie reached out to me just before the end of the year, 2022.
Yep.
And she had got a referral from NVIDIA Landscapes to contact myself, who's here as well. And so we went through the Duality garden, the initial concept, and then we planned from pretty much December through till literally the first day of the show. Going through our construction schedule, going through what materials are going to be easier to make malleable or make...
Like to be flexible in
more flexible.
Yeah, in a non-foundational build, yep.
And because this was both our first time, I had seen firsthand just how hectic flower and garden shows can be because I laboured at one last year. So we got cracking into the pre-build, knowing what our budget was, making sure all the construction drawings were completely approved by the engineers for the show. And then we went on from there and started the pre-build about 3 weeks prior to the show. Bronnie got most of the stone organised with her old man, and we just made it a congruent effort.
So do they have a budget that you have to stick to, or as in not you personally, but does the show give you a cap, or you can do whatever?
They do give you a cap. So Landscaping Victoria give you $9,000.
Yep.
So we tried to work as best as we could to that.
Yep.
But in a perfect world, it doesn't always go that way.
Yep.
So I'm not sure how much we've blown over, but we
don't know.
No.
Yeah, just don't look at it.
Yeah.
It's like when you do something at your house, don't keep the receipts.
Exactly.
Just get it done and then it's done.
Right. Yeah.
So first time you've done this, I'm imagining if it's like you're a sole trader effectively.
Yes, that's right.
So to have just the two of you and some help to build something like this in 9 days is going to be a challenge, probably more challenging than some of the big gardens considering the size of the teams that those guys have.
Yes, 100%.
How did you manage that? Like obviously a bit of pre-build and then just no sleep?
So my good friend Addy from ADP Landscapes, I called him in January saying, how would you like to be a part of MIFGS for 9 days?
Yep.
And he says, mate, absolutely, let's get stuck into it, let's create an amazing garden. So Ronnie was a bit apprehensive as to what she was a bit scared as to how quickly we could get things done.
Yep.
But yeah, we just called it the big guns. Pre-build took 4 days, building all the retaining walls and the wall frames, and then scoping out for the door as well. That probably took about a good 4 hours to do as well, just to really get the radius and get your opening completely spot on. Because the timber that we got, the Tasmanian oak sort of fluted timber from Borders, we only got exactly what we needed. So we didn't have...
Oh, because you don't want to have budgetary blowout.
No.
So you're buying exactly the length.
what you need. So we didn't get the extra fold, 10% for the window meterage.
Yeah.
We literally worked it out to a radius, cut the dome, and then cut the door to match.
Yeah.
So that was probably the only thing that was time consuming here. But as for the walls, during the pre-build, what we did was Bronnie and I met up very early this year, around January, came to the site and made sure we were within all the tree protection.
So you knew this was your site?
Yes, that's right.
In January?
Yes.
And what's the tree protection? Is it a couple of metres from?
It's 3.5 metres from about each tree. Well, it was 3.5 metres from that one, and it was 3.5 metres from that one.
Yep.
And then they give you a radius to work towards, and then that's when you scribe out your 5 metres.
Yep.
5 by 5, square.
So you didn't get to choose your site?
No, I don't think so.
Yep. So how long have you been doing business? Like have you recently started? Or?
Claycorn Landscape Construction has been operating for 10 months.
Yep. Oh wow, so you're freshly out.
Very fresh.
So this is like a massive achievement considering one of you, well the designer is still studying and the constructor is not even 12 months in.
No.
So you started talking about this when you were 6 months into business or?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I was absolutely blown away. When I got the referral, I thought, look, this is an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Whether there's a best in show or not, I didn't really care at the time, and I still don't care. I wanted to purely be here for the experience.
We've spoken to a few people already, and kind of the common thing is the garden was for me. It's not for everyone else. Like if this is about you achieving something, or you being happy with the result, or you getting to meet what Bronnie's vision was. Yeah. Do you feel the same? Like
the day that I got the concept, I fell in love because I love the serenity of Arizona and South American gardens. I love worn out and rustic views. I absolutely love dry conditions. I love when I went to UAE for Christmas 5 years ago. We went to the desert for one night and I just loved. I mean, the time that we were there, it was winter. But just the serenity and just being out and about with like minimum trees, or even going down to Sorrento and seeing all the tea trees down there, having everything in limestone, all those natural sort of pale colours. Yeah, I really do enjoy. So when she brought it to me, I said, this is something out of like my imagination.
Like if you got to pick the garden, this is the one you would have picked to build.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What was the hardest part about the build?
Probably the door. That was probably the most time-consuming and worrying part, as I said before, because we didn't have an expansive budget. cutting everything to what you've ordered was probably the most nerve-wracking part. I think bracing the walls, because we can't have any external bracing because that's obviously a finished wall, was probably the hardest part as well.
Yeah, I noticed there was some cabling there.
Yeah. So we
have to do it.
Yeah, so we did. That's a stainless steel tension wire that you used as balayage trees.
Yep.
It was basically purely just to brace that wall so it didn't teeter over.
Yep.
That was probably the hardest part. Yeah.
Is there anything you would have done differently now that you've had some time to reflect around the build?
Yeah, I'd probably do a little bit more stonework, probably in the centre.
Like
or
expand that out a bit more.
Expand it out a little bit more. Probably expand the stairs just a little bit wider, I think, just to make the entry point just a little bit
more grand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time talking to us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
If people are looking to find out more about your business, just Instagram.
Yep, so it's claycon_LC.
Yep.
And then clayconlc.com.au.
Yeah, cool. We'll link it up in the comments in the description.
Yes.
This is what happens when you drink Long Island iced teas for breakfast.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I really appreciate you giving us some time. So
thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by.